All right, those joining in online, if you could go ahead and go to the YouTube section of Week 12 podcast and click on chat and type your name in. I'll do it with you here. You'll type your name there on the right side. Your name will be posted, and I know that you are online with everyone in class. So go ahead and do that. We'll get started in about 1 minute here. Again, those logging in online like Paul, go ahead and put your name in the chat section of the YouTube video for week 12. You'll need to go to week 12 module for podcasts to see it. So those just joining online, make sure and go to the week 12 podcast, click on the link, type in your name in the chat module, and we'll get started here in about 30 seconds. And for those of you in class, we have some books up here after you're done with the Kahoot while we're transitioning. I brought some books. You brought some books. And so we got some old school, new school. The Book of C, awesome book, actually. Charles Ackerman is a good author. Gaddis is a stance. You guys had this in 276, I'm guessing. You still use Gaddis in 276? Okay. C Programming by C.N. King. This is actually a really good one for Gaddis. It's a starting out quickly with Gaddis. It's just a workbook kind of thing. Good one. And then a reference book I've used over the years. I have a digital copy of it now, but it's by Osborne McGraw. McGraw Press, Osborne. Herbert Schilt is the author. It's called The Programmer's Reference for C++. Really good. It's, right to the point you want to know how to do, like, say, finding out how to do rounding, or you want to find out how to do printf, or you want to find out how to do loops, iterations, static cast. Go right to the point, gives you an example from my little book. Again, word of honor on this. So as soon as you take it, if you take anything with you tonight, just bring it back to last week of class. Sound good? So I'll let you guys grab those after the Kahoot. All right. So this is in chapter 17. Kahoot is on chapter 17 for week 12, which is on debugging. It's just 5 questions. Let's begin. To eradicate bug, you need to reproduce a bug, no error codes. And again, what the chapter discussed is section 2. For reproducing is one of them. Even though knowing error codes is, sometimes important on programs, just for the software developer who developed the program. But when you're fixing a bug, you need to be able to reproduce it in order to fix it somehow. To know what's going wrong with it. Next, to eradicate a bug, again, this is the second part of the question. To eradicate a bug, you need to have a bug system or locate and correct the problem. 100%. Good job. Yeah. So once you've been able to replicate it or watch somebody replicate it, find it in the code where that problem is and fix it to where they can test it and, go on to the next bug, which there's always another bug. Reproducing a bug may be blank % of the problem. 190 or 80. 190 or 80. Remember, first guess is usually right. Even if you didn't do your reading, first guess is usually right. %90 is a correct answer on that one, on the text. Before you start debugging, save the old working copy of your program in a safe place. This is called analog debugging, serial debugging, or waterfall debugging. serial debugging is what this one's called. Basically, where you have a serial of files for your program to be able to old copy, new copy. Also, it's used in versioning as well. Put cout statements where you know the data is good, bad, and several points in between is called what? Divide and conquer, multiple steps, or cout mode. Divide and conquer, multiple steps, cout mode. Type of debugging. Okay, this one's divide and conquer. Basically, it's where you put couts in multiple places, good, bad, and indifferent in betweens. That way, when you're debugging your code, you know for sure stuff that's working is working. Stuff that is kind of questionable, you're like, okay, I know where that's at. And stuff you know you need to work on, where the errors are, cout's going to help you figure that out. An example would be in a loop where you have numbers showing up in a loop and you're wanting to figure out with each iteration what each line is doing in your code. And again, this wouldn't be for production, but during debugging, it helps to know what each line is doing in order to get the correct output or correct calculation or correct statement of data, whatever it might be. Next. That's it. Pretty simple, right? Five on that one. So if you want to come up and grab a textbook real quick, there's 4, 5, 6 up here. Go ahead and do that. Take a minute while we shift here and grab whatever you want to. It's while it's gone, while it's here, and it's gone. And so as soon as somebody grabs it, and all these are good, by the way, even the C ones are good, but most of you will grab the C++ ones, but just to kind of kind of what C was like, might be kind of interesting. All right, next thing I want to show you while you're grabbing those is on our website, myrbc.org. There's a post right at the beginning on register now for fall 2018. And in that post, right on the home page, I'll go to it again so you can see it. If you click right on that link here, which this is actually my Android class when they opened up their new Android tablets that they were able to keep for the class. These are smiling faces. They're excited about it. Anyway, when you click on that, it'll open up into a new tab, which will send you through all the courses that we teach for CIS Web and PCT. If you want to see a list of all the courses, I put a list link at the very top that you can click on. It'll give just a list as it is in online services, but I've delineated and filtered out just PCT, CIS, and web for your benefit. And within this direct link of listing, if you click on this register online link, it'll take you right to online services. And also, we did put in here also a link to our new mobile app certificate and our new network technician certificate. I'll highlight those real quick. The new mobile app certificate was approved last semester, and the courses in that sequencing is only 3 courses, which is CIS277, Programming Logic, 280, iOS Dev, which we teach in the fall, and 245, which we teach in the spring. So 3 classes, a total of 11 credits, and you get a certificate in mobile app development. Trek Design here in town has already gotten with him and met with him. He owns a mobile app development company. Has said students to go through this sequencing of courses and get a certificate. He will hire an internship for 1 semester. And Trek Design's been around for 25 years, and they just started mobile app development about 6 years ago. We've already had 2 students go through this for their internship. And again, you're going to learn both sides of the business anyway of things of iOS and Android. One of the recent coding projects they did was for Burpee Museum downtown, where they did augmented reality with iOS, which iOS just came out with augmented reality last summer in the releases. It's the only device. Android can do augmented reality with apps, but it's built into the iOS platform. And so when you walk around with this new Burpee app, you can look at different artifacts, and it'll pop out live dinosaur videos and cool information. Like an example was, we've all been to the museums before, maybe, and we act, if you're like me, you act like you know how the spelling of the word is, how it should sound, and you're totally wrong, right? You tell your kid, your grandkids, how's that spelled, Papa? Well, it's Tenosaurus racemosus, right? Yeah, that sounds right. No, totally wrong. So this app will correct you, all right, tell you exactly how it's pronounced. They're also using the app in grade schools to bring Burpee into the classroom. They have, when I did a tour in the back last semester, 45,000 artifacts in the back of Burpee. They don't have enough room to put in the actual museum. And so they're using mobile app development and 3D scanning to help. So anyway, long story short, you could work for Trek to do some cool augmented reality, which I think is kind of sweet. So if you have questions about that, let me know. The other certificate that came out last semester was the network certificate with Stephanie Washer. Network certificate is basically to get students ready for basic networking career, computer networking, maintaining business, education, government, and healthcare institution. And 4 courses in that one, 102, which everybody has to take that anyway for all your courses, right? 110, I teach that. 1262, A+ Essentials. That's like the old school, if you remember, you've been here a while. Computer repair is in that, or part of that as well. Computer repair. It used to be all computer repair, by the way. A+ certification. Those of you remember that. How many members A+ certification? I know you do. Anybody else? Okay. And A+ certification, I've got that. I kept it over the years. It's basically just a certification to fix computers, basically, is all it is. Troubleshoot, fix computers. And then introduction to Linux. Unix is a good course as well. All of these are good courses, but it's just an intro certificate for networking technician. And as you go down, it shows the other courses as well, along with some little facts about each one of the courses. So also the other thing I want to show you on our website is new jobs. 4 new jobs in the last week, all internships. Danfoss, you might have heard of that company, a great company in town, been around for years. Have a software engineering intern, meaning any language, C++, Visual Basic, C#, JavaScript, Python, whatever it is taken here or not taken here, they want to hire an intern, and they have all different types of software. Software developer intern also for Supply Corps, another great company. Intern at United Technology, UTC, another great company. And then Manpower has multiple internships. If you click on the link for Manpower, brings you into a lot of different openings that companies don't really reveal their name, but they want Manpower to hire an intern. And so 4 options for internships, all in programming for the most part. The only one that's not really is this intern for information technology job, but they did say there might be some programming involved in that. That's more of a networking kind of thing. So avail yourself to that. When you click on each one of these links, they will bring you to another page, which gives you more information on how to apply. Most of them will have like a link that you can click on to further apply for that job, as far as maybe upload your resume and things of that nature. If you want to put me down as a reference, you may do so. Just let me know when you apply that you did that. That way, if they email or call me, I'm at least aware of the fact that you applied for that job or jobs. Make sense? Questions on that? So again, if you do not need a job, but you know somebody that does that's around here, let them know about those 4 jobs so we can get them filled up. All right. This week, we're going to be covering in week 12. I'll go over the announcement here. Went over fall 2008, went over the events. Went over the jobs, did not go over the events. I want to go over that real quick. Also on our course, myrbc.org, there is an events link that gives us all the events coming up. We have a few I'll make mention of. Girls Who Code each week, that's tomorrow, Wednesday, and then CIS advisories next Tuesday. If you have anybody that has a web company that's in town or you work for somebody who does web development, let me know. We want to invite them to the CIS advisory committee because we're looking at revamping our web certificate and updating it, and we need more feedback from web developing companies. And so if you know someone that is, or you work for a company that is a web developing company, let me know. And then RVC Hour of Code. Next one coming up is May 1st. It is on Wonder Woman, and it's actually for grades 9 or up. And it's a fun, if you've never been to Hour of Code, it's a lot of fun. You create a mobile app in 1 hour. And we use drag and drop JavaScript coding, which if you don't know JavaScript, you learn a little bit of JavaScript in the midst of creating a cool mobile app that you can share with family and friends, and they can remix it. Looking further ahead, in October, Tech Expo 2018 will be here before we know it. I know a few of you have been to that event. It's the second. This will be our third one, and we're still working on the agenda and speakers, but it'll be at least 12 to 15 companies like we had last year, and jobs that are open for those companies. They, a lot of times we'll talk to students. Like I know Todd Comics hired 3 students, Entree hired 4 students. The gentleman that's up here on, you guys help me, on Perryville, Visconti Computers, they hired 2 of our students after that event. So there's 7, 8 students right there that was hired on the spot during that event. So it's always a cool thing. And that was my original intent for that event was to actually, because so many times students maybe aren't aware of how many tech companies are in Rockford, or they might be aware, but they never are able to talk to those companies, right? So this is an opportunity for you to actually walk up and talk to a CEO, talk to some programmers, talk to some networking people, and they will talk to you and tell you what jobs they have open and say, hey, can you start Monday? That's the type of things that can happen. And so jot that down on your calendar if you want. It's in October, coming up pretty quick. It'll be before you know it. 22nd. The other thing I want to mention before we go on is starting in June, the Hour of Code will be moving to Cherryville Mall. And for those of you that are not familiar with Hour of Code, it's basically been offered, I've been offering it since December 2015, free to the community, to come in and do 1 hour of code. It's a nationwide movement created by a website called code.org, which you may or may not have heard of, which is right up your alley. You're developers in here. You might be interested in helping in this. And they've been around for a number of years. And the goal was originally 10 million. They've surpassed that. And now they're training high school teachers, middle school teachers, college students on training them to teach these coding sessions. And so they have interesting stats, videos, everyone from President Barack Obama to Black Eyed Peas have done Hour of Code. And so it's basically drag and drop type of coding. I'll show you one of the screens here. It's kind of cool. And they just added basically a University Plus section, which would be you'd maybe be interested in. Well, let's go back. This stat here is pretty cool. 21,831,488,026 lines of code written by 27 million students since it started around the entire world. That's pretty awesome. And the way it works basically is this is the most popular one I'll show you that we do. I usually do the very first of the semester is like in January. It's called, remember the Flappy Bird game, right? And the way it works is basically you have these blocks. The left side is where you play the game. The right side is in the middle, and the blocks is what you have available. And the very right side is where you drag the blocks. So this first one is you're supposed to click on a when block. When it runs, it's going to flap. And then continue on the next puzzle. At the very last puzzle, the attendees get to create an app of whatever they want, and you'll notice with many more methods and procedures available. And then when they're done with it, they can share this via Facebook, Twitter, printer. Also, at times it's kind of catchy on this, but it does have at times availability to share with a phone. But depending on the load of the day, I've noticed that sometimes they take away the text portion that you can share with the text message. It's usually right in this area here. But anyway, this code that I usually have students just write it down or take a picture with their phone, and then go home and continue working on it. And then they can share it. It'll play right on an iPhone or Droid or tablet, and then people can remix it and make their own game. And this is a very beginning level. You'll notice in this one it didn't have any lines of code, but the second level and up, actually you can look at not only completion, but if you can tap on the button that says code, it'll show you what that code would have looked like if you typed it in JavaScript, which is kind of cool. So anyway, RBC Hour of Code. If you're interested in helping, I always am recruiting volunteers. I know when we hit the mall in June, we will be needing more volunteers. I'll be needing more volunteers. And just remember RBC Hour of Code. You can go right to the RSVP, and you can even play with one to see what it's like. It's already sold out for the May 1st one, which we fit 24 in that, I think, each session. And so this session here was in January, or no, December. This was December, where all of them did an interactive greeting card with Scratch programming. On average, each student did about 75 lines of code in 1 hour. So it's it's a lot of fun, but they do learn how to code, and it's a fun drag and drop type of environment. So if you've never done it, definitely do it, anytime you want to at home. Well, I'll give you directions. It's on the second floor. It'll be on the second floor, and there'll be 2 separate sections that they'll give us, depending on the events, Jack, at the mall, will depend on where we'll be going. Do what now? Yeah, it's always going to be the first Tuesday of the month, and it's always going to be from 5 to 6. So is that 5 months? So this semester worked first Tuesday of the month. Fall semester might change depending on the schedule. What time? 5 to 6. It's always 5 to 6. It usually fluctuates. But I can always use your guys' volunteers to help, because we have to log into all the computers, and then we meet at the RBC right now, the RBC downtown location. But the marketing person at the mall called me in January. I took a tour. I was expecting her to just let us do one, right? In June, because that's what I asked for like a long time ago. She said, okay, we'll provide the electricity, the tables, the setup. I just got a grant for 20 iPad minis. That's what we're going to use to actually do the hour of code with. And she said, well, if you don't mind, we'd like to have you start in January or in June and go from June 2018 to June 2019 for the first year. We're going to cover all of that for you. I'm like, okay, sounds great. And so they're going to provide the power, the Wi-Fi, the tables, the chairs. I just bring my iPads in all charged up and ready to go. Do it now? Once a month, yeah. The first Tuesday. Right now it's going to be the first Tuesday. I know through the summer it's going to be the first Tuesday of the month from 5 to 6 p.m. Cool? So if you're interested, email me about volunteering or whatever help you can give me. I will take whatever help you want to give me. Definitely. Do I know? The robots? Oh, Ozobot, yeah. It's not, the Ozobots is not on the hour of code. It's on the website, but it's totally separate. Yeah, totally separate. And the Ozobots, we're looking at doing those in August. I'm looking at doing an intermediate session of Ozobot in August to where they get more in depth with controlling the robot with JavaScript coding. So we're doing that in August if you're interested in that. Again, anything you're interested in helping me, let me know, and I'll give you a schedule of everything. And you can pick whatever date you want. Thank you for interest. Any other questions on that? All right, cool. And by the way, I just got in the mail today. I applied for it a while back to become a Google CIS277 campus for game development. And it's a process you have to go through with Google to apply for this status, basically. Anyway, I got in the mail today this box that said, Google, CS first. I'm like, okay, great. So I opened it up, and basically what it is, it's an 8-week gaming program for club. It's a club for kids, probably from, I would say, 6th grade to probably senior level, high school. And each week they make an app, a game app, using Scratch, which some of you might have heard of. It was created by MIT. It's a drag and drop platform. And they create a game each week, and they get a little star. They get a little, promoted. They can, share their code with the world each week. So that's another thing that's coming up. I'll be fitting somewhere in my schedule, probably in the fall. I'll be doing that. So I'm pretty excited about that. So it's an 8-week gaming program for K through 12 students to get interested in coding. All right. So this week we're going to play with talking about gaming. We're going to play with a game. We're going to play with a dice rolling game, and I'm going to let you modify it to your heart's desire. Maybe you'll see the example here in a second, but maybe saving score, high score, things like that nature. Maybe making it faster rolling, whatever the case may be. But then also during the in-class examples, we're going to look at many, and have you pick and choose as many C++ games that you want to look at. And some of them were created in the Replid platform, and some of them are like thousands of lines of code in C++, which is a lot for Replid. But I was thinking about today, I had a meeting with a group of people that were updating an app I helped create starting in 2009. That app, last count we did of code count, had 1,267 lines of code. It's a 3-year project. That one was written in Visual Basic. And so, 2,000 lines of code really isn't a lot of code. But, it is for new programmers just starting out. It seems like a lot. But when you're working on a program day after day, year after year, it can build up like Microsoft, right? Like the operating system Microsoft and the programs that it supports. So this week we're going to be playing with Dice Game. And the online students, hopefully you already put your name in the chat module. And let's go ahead and begin. So week 12, let's go there real quick. Anybody like games, by the way? Is it just me like games? One person? 2 people? 3 people. Okay, 3 people like games. All right. I'm going to switch over just to have fun here. Is anybody on the online community here, those that are at home? What's your favorite game? Just put in your chat module what your favorite game is. Just type it in. Tell us what it is. Doesn't matter what the game is. Let us know what your game is. First person shooter, doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be a C++ game. Anybody? You got Diego, you got Brady, you got Kyle, you got Josh, you got Joe. You got more users than that in there, I think. We got Tim, we got Paul. Okay, while we're waiting on the online, what about you guys? Here we go. Factorio. Anybody heard of that one? Factorio. What platform is Factorio, Brady? What platform is that? Is that iOS, Android, Windows? Fallout New Vegas. Heard of that one, guys? Fallout New Vegas. Is that multi-platform? Fallout New Vegas? Don't know. Factorio, I've heard of that one. Kingdom Hearts, Monster Hunter. Oh, they're coming in now. Monster Hunter, Freedom Unite. Diego. Tim says Kingdom Hearts 2. Okay, in class, I'm going to tell the online guys. PC, Brady says that one was. So what's your guys' favorite online? Any type of game. What is it? Original Nintendo. Which one? The original Nintendo. Super Mario Brothers. Okay. My favorite is Galaga. I grew up in high school playing Galaga like every weekend, right? It was right next to a car shop, a garage, and we would play hours Galaga, man. I got to tell you, where I could get like 1,200,000 points, but it took me like 4 hours to get there. Do I know? Yeah. And you could get two, up to two at a time, right? Would drop down. If you captured them, then you had two to shoot with. I'll say, so mine's Gallagher. Who else we got here? RimWorld, Paul said. Anybody else? Laura, favorite game? Any solitaire people in here? Okay, Paul, solitaire, yeah. What's that? I don't like solitaire, but that's just me. What is it? Super Mash? Oh, my grandson likes that one. Yes, Super Smash Brothers, right? What's the name of that? Now, anybody play Minecraft when you were a kid? Minecraft people? Okay, yeah, Jaden's big into Minecraft, right? Now, you guys heard of Minecon? Have you heard of that? It's basically a yearly event for Minecraft folks to geek out, dress up as their favorite Minecraft character, and give suggestions to the developers of Minecraft. Anyway, they're doing it online now. Will Arnett, I believe, is a host. He did it last year. Everybody knows Will Arnett. It's pretty funny. Anyway, he's a Minecrafter with his kids, and he's doing it again this year. But they always promote it like a week before. They say, okay, guys, next week, Saturday night, we're going to do the Minecon. So when I find that, I'll let you guys know. So we got Minecraft users. What else? Minesweep. Yeah, Minesweep. So yeah, I play a little bit of that. You know, Atari, when it first came out, the console, I like Pong, but you know, it was the first big, it was the first game I remember as a kid being able to show on a TV screen, a black and white console TV screen. And to me, that was like really cool, even though you just had the two little, knobs, right? But again, and you could actually, the second gen, you could actually feel when the ball hit your paddle, you can eat, a little vibration there. What is it now? Well, I have programmed a version. I don't have it with me now, but I programmed a version of Galaga because that's my favorite game in a number of languages. My favorite one I created, if I can find it, is in JavaScript. I created JavaScript, which loads really quickly, and it has a little Java applet in the middle of it. And some of the newer computers probably won't be able to play it. So, okay, well, it's cool. We got some gamers here. And so gaming is the number one app on the App Store as far as categories go. When it goes to gaming development, I'll show you here real quick. As far as category of apps that are on the App Store. In fact, let me just fire up iTunes to show you, be quicker. Categories of different apps. I do this in my 180 class in the fall, but you guys will like this. So, all right, where are my apps at? Oh, I gotta pull it up on the app side. They don't let you pull up apps on iTunes anymore. You have to do the App Store. Yeah, they just changed it. You got to do App Store. All right, here we go. So, top charts. Okay, before I get there, what do you guys think the number one game is? Free and paid both. And I already mentioned it already in here. I already mentioned it once. What is it? What'd you say? Candy Heart? Candy Crush. You're talking about Candy Crush, right? How many think it's Candy Crush? How many thinks Minecraft? Okay, let's see. Let's wait and see here what it is. All right, let's see. So let's go to the I don't want to ask me by Apple. I want the apps. All the apps. Here we go. Oh, it changed. Okay, so it looks like the top paid is Magnet, then Logic Pro. Again, these are Mac apps. I want iOS. I'll find it here. They've changed the grid on this and everything. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back to my original search. Well, let's fit the Android. 15 best apps, Android apps, 2018. Weather, Google Drive, Google Maps, Google Assistant. I don't think so. Yeah, top free apps. Thank you. What is it? Okay. Oh, they messed up all my links. There we go. Finally. Sheesh. All right. So here's our free apps. Top, we'll just keep it there. So you got Fortnite, Rise Up, Snapchat. Been a while since I've been here. Impossible, Bottle Flip, Instagram, Google Map, Messenger, Facebook, Bitmap. Wow. Minecraft is not even on the free list top 10. All right, let's switch it to paid apps. See if it's over there. Well, Minecraft's a paid app. Forgot. Number 2, Heads Up. If you've not played that one, that's a fun one. Ellen DeGeneres and her crew developers made that. That's actually fun. We play that with the family. Anybody played that with your family before? Heads Up. It's a lot of fun. Minecraft, number 2. Plague, number 3. I played that one. Facetune. I played that one. It's photo and video on that one. Balloons, TD5. Light X, Hot Schedules. Geometry Dash, Scribblenauts, Remix. My grandson likes that one, and Payco 2. So those are the top 10. So you can see majority of the top 10 free and paid apps are games. All right. So a lot of games in developing world, developers are playing a lot or creating a lot. So there is a niche for developers to go into, become a developer for develop their own games or develop for a company as a game developer. And you can work for individual app companies or gaming companies that develop a lot of apps, right? What I mean by individual, say like an app like Flappy Birds that finally died out, but then came up. Angry Birds is another popular one. It's like 50 different regions of that one, but like 850 developers worldwide develop on that all over the world and remote from home and work as a developer in all different languages. So tons of resources for you to be your own developer, just if you want to just create apps for fun. On the final app resource, I do want to mention some timeline stuff. We are in April 9th, so maybe good time to start testing your app, or hopefully you're almost there or you're close to that point. I did put in here some Replid games in C++, and also other apps like a calculator app, my game video tutorial, and then the one down here for game engines, I added a new one called Oxygen that I've been playing with the last few months. It's not too bad, and it's a C++ backend. Next, we'll go right into the examples this week in week 12. Okay, so the examples, again, we're going to be doing gaming for your take home. We'll look at the end, but, or not week 12, week 11, week 12, not week 11. Come on, there we go. It's this link here. It says examples 2. There it is. And so the first one's a tic-tac-toe by Cyan Coding. Again, this one is a pretty elaborate tic-tac-toe game. I'll scroll down to the end here. I'm still going. 2,639 lines of code on C++. So a lot of work on this one. 2,000 plus lines of code, which I would get 2,639. And on this one, the example is a C++ tic-tac-toe created by Cyan Coding. You play as X and the computer plays as 0 or O. Type in the play to start the game against the computer, or PvP to start a game with 2 players. All right, so I'm going to type in play, and you can play along with me if you want to. All right, so type in a different level, easy, normal, or impossible. I'm going to do easy. All right, then it says you've been selected to play the first level. Good luck. And it says type a number. Type a number that is on the board to place an X at. So I'm going to go ahead and start with number 1 on the upper left corner. Now the computer, I'm guessing, is going to do its job. Yeah, I put one there on the top right. So I'm going to do number 4. Computer's thinking. Ooh, I'm going to do number 7. I win. Yeah. I expected another menu that many lines of code. That's just me. Anyway. Yeah, I remember you showing me a while back. Went over it. Blackjack finish. Now, this is a cool one. Anybody play blackjack? Blackjack people? Okay. This was actually pretty good. I liked it. I played this one a little bit ago. It's got some cool see out where they do some stuff with the ASCII art of what it's called. You'll see in a second. So I'll go ahead and run this one to show you. So the ASCII art, by the way, is right here. This blackjack. That's done right here in the see out. And so player 10, house 14. Do you want another card? Press hit or stay. Let me see. I'm going to go and do hit. Why not? I'm gonna hit again. I'm gonna stay now. All right, you lose. The house takes your money. You had 17. The house had 21. Would you like to play again? Okay, so this is number 1. I'll play one more time there. All right, choice on this one. What do you think? I should hit or stay? Hit. All right. All right. Do you want another card? Hit or stay? All right. Oh, Jackson Gamble over there. Hit or stay? Okay. All right. You had 21. The house had 18. Would you like to play again? So good job on that one. Do I know? Do I know? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, the code I was looking at earlier goes through and does a randomization of each card, and then it wouldn't you normally have a dealer do, evidently, and then yeah, it shuffles in between each one. Does a randomization. Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time. We'll do it one more time. Why not? Okay, somebody else. Okay, hit or stay. Right now I've got player. I've got 8. House has 15. Hit. All right. Okay, I've got 17. House has 15. What do you think? Hit or stay? Stay. Okay, you're safe over here. Oh, we won 17. Yes, house went over 22. House had 22. We had 17. Yes. More blackjack. I don't understand. Yeah, it's the old school. But no, it's a fun one. But you can go in there and look at the code on that one. It's actually 145 lines of code. But I think it's a good game. A good little C++ game. The last one is a link to a whole bunch of games. And this is where I'm going to let you guys kind of play around with a little bit. This is a list of a whole bunch of different games that you can click on and play with real quick, like find a word in a game. And what's cool about this is you can actually try this code out and see how it works and bring it into Replid. Some of them will work, some of them won't. Most of them do, because most of them do have the headers that these, even if they're old school C++. Mind Reader is one. What was one other one here? This one here, the piano saves output to a text file. It does some math with conio.h. And let's see, bum, bum, bum. And then this one, you can actually, it gives you two files on this one, the main file and then a maze.h file, which you can include in a new tab or a file you can add in Replid as a new file. And then Replid itself has a lot of options too. I'll show you that if you've not seen that yet. Replid has a area called I Build This Games. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's a contest actually. Submit your game by April 26th, it says. It's for fun and education. Top 3 voters plus 1 staff pick gets a prize. Games can be created in any language on Replid. And even has some guides in here. Like it says, new, want to add a scoreboard, check out the guide here. Goes over some helps for you. Some of these are, these are built in all different types of languages. So you kind of have to hunt and peck to find a C++ one. And sometimes it's in the title, sometimes it's not in the title of the program. But either way, it's kind of cool to see that these are created in Replit regardless of what the language is, I think. And this one's built in Python. And this one is supposed to be, let me just play this one to see. It actually downloads the terminal on this one from Python. Choosing 1 or 2 players. You have 10 lives to try and guess the random word. Please guess a letter. Okay, I'm going to guess A. It says here, this is not in the word. Somebody else give me a letter. I'm thinking E, but it's probably not in there. I'm thinking A, E, I, O, U. I'm doing all the bells. Give me a letter. F? F. S? Yeah, S. Yeah, S. S is not in the word. What else? G? G is not in the word. 6 lives left. Oh my, I'm going to try T. Ooh, T's in there. And guess what? T's in the middle. You have 2 letters. T, 2 letters. You get H is in there? H maybe? No hints. I'm gonna say H. No. We did S. O. Do we do O? Do we do R? We didn't do R, did we? R's in there. Okay, I have 5 lives left, and it's blank blank T E R. I done O. You think O's in there between the O and R? T and O? T and R? Huh? Motor? Motor? Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna try an O. Ooh. What? Well, I'm gonna do one at a time. Later, is that what you're thinking? Hater? Oh, there's no A, yeah. I did A, right? Did I do E? I think I did E. I maybe? What about I, you think? Let's go with I. No. Oh, I'm not good at this game. W. No. Water, maybe? There's no A. There has to be something before the O, before the T. B won't work, right? C won't work. D won't work. E. Thought I tried E earlier. E's in there? E would be good, right? Yes. Okay, so we have E blank TER. Enter, yes. Woo! Well done. You have guessed the word. Anyway, I played like 3 hours this the other day. I actually submitted a JavaScript app in here. Um, anyway, there's tons of games in here. I'm gonna let you guys about 10 minutes do that, and then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna show you the homework assignment. So play around with this one in Replid or the link I gave you to C++ program games. You can also, by the way, if you're logged into Replid, you can go over to the I believe it's the Learn Teach area. I think that's the one. You can do a search in here as well. I did one earlier, C++ games. I got a few. Some of them actually are just games only, and then some of them actually are lessons to games. Like this one here is making C++ text games and programming. That one's not too bad. So anyway, 5-10 minutes, play around, do what you want. You might find some cool C++ code in here to play with and maybe use for your app. You never know. Might find a cool game to play. And even though you type like I did C++ games, some of these are not always created in C++ games. Because like you got Java here, you got HTML, Python. I'm gonna go back to the game so I find a cool. If you find a cool C++ game in the Repli games, let me know. I'll post it in the examples. You got some RPG games in here. It'd be nice if they had one more column that said the language. I'm thinking, like, because it has a score, the title and description, and how many people liked it. It'd be cool to have another column of just language, right? Know what it was created in. It's just me. JavaScript. Again, some of them put it in the description, but some do not. While we're searching here, anyone online find a cool one, let me know. You can post it here in the chat, and I will put it in the example. When you post it in the chat, put the entire URL to the C++ game, and I'll put it in the example. Okay, go back. Okay, there we go. JavaScript, call game, rock, paper, scissors. A lot of Python games. The flappy ball thing. I want to click on that or not. There's a rock, paper, scissors in C++. See how this works. Oh, yeah. Okay, rock, paper, scissors. A little bug in it. Oh, lowercase y. This said, do you want to play again? But it had uppercase y, but it actually tested with a lowercase y. There we go. That was not too bad. I'll copy that one in. I like that one. The rock, paper, scissors. I'm going to check online here. If you guys in class have something, let me know, and I will email it to me, and I'll put it in the games examples. So again, those online, if you find a cool game example in C++, post the link, and I will put, did you find one? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it imports everything. Yeah, it imports everything in. Yeah, it imports everything in. Yep. That rock, paper, scissors wasn't too bad. I saved that one. A couple more here. See if I can find a couple more for you. Color text in C++. Basically is a header file color mod that has a color code directly to the terminal and uses color namespace. So this uses, oh, here's an example of a header file added called colormod.h with a whole bunch of different enumerated colors that it uses in the actual application. Oh, cool. And you can go back to the app, I guess, and you can say you want a different color. Say I want to change it to blue. Oh, cool. There you go. Save that one. It's not a game, but I like it. I'm different. Ooh, old C. We'll do that. We'll go to old C. 18mm. A program allows you to mess around with different Q implementations and see how they work with some simple ASCII graphics. And this is using C. See what this looks like. See if there's any comments here. Online community, post any links you find. Got another couple minutes here. Oh, this one has a lot of, this is old C language, multiple H files and class files. Huh. Okay. Oh. I like that one. All right, one more. C++ Tetris. Heard Tetris earlier from somebody. Jack. Let's see if there's any good here. How do you control? Oh, left to right, up, down. And AD to move left to right. S to move block fill. QE to rotate. AD. Yeah. All AD together. AD. Huh? Oh yeah, you gotta hit enter after every time. So AD, no. The AD to move left to right. Okay, so A enter, D enter. Okay. Might take a little bit to figure this one out. Yeah, that's it. D. Yep. Let's see. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Actually, not too bad. Different. Huh. Save that one. Kind of different. For ASCII. Bad. All right. Do you guys find one? Did you email me some? Anybody find it? Anybody find one? Okay, so I found in the example here a rock, paper, scissors, a color text to terminal, C, and then Tetris. Those three. I save those. Online, nada. Anybody else? All right. Well, send me one if you find one that you like. That might help somebody. All right. Next, we're going to go over Did that already. All right, Seesaw app. If you've not yet updated your Seesaw app for this week on your final app, what you've been working on, what you finished this week, do so by Sunday. You can also post other journal postings in there, like app ideas. If you want, you can post links to apps like we're working on tonight, app examples that you found that was cool, apps you've created as well. I'll pull some this week and post some in there in the Seesaw app myself for you. All right, and now let's go to assignment. I already have it up here somewhere. That one, there it is right there. Okay, so the assignment is lesson 12. The objective is to make whatever changes you want to the simple heads up tails game. Examples, you keep a tally of how many heads or tails. You could also add random messages, direct by maybe random messages. You could save your score and bring it up later in a file, an actual text file if you wanted to. You get the idea. So I'll go ahead and play it. You can play it with me if you want to, or just watch. And so, game is running. X out some other stuff I have here. Let's reload it. That's not what yeah, I know. Okay, here we go. Okay, heads or tails? I'm going to go ahead and pick heads. Flipping. Oh, incorrect. You want to try again? Yes. This time I'm going to do heads again. Correct. You want to play again? No. All right, logic on this one. Randomization, as you can probably imagine. But before that, you have a standard CTD, CSTD library file and Unisted file for the randomization. You sleep. When it gets down to the actual randomization of the int main, basically just has a C out to the header information. Then it calls the function htGame. htGame has an integer called answer, another integer called flip. It randomizes 2 to 1, meaning 1 to 2. That's it. Only can come back 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And that's it. Then string answer. See now pick heads 1 or 2. User puts the answer in. See out's a new line and says flipping. It waits that 2 million milliseconds, which is roughly a couple seconds. And then if answer is equal to flip, see out correct, flip result, and that's one where you can play with on maybe different random messages you come up there possibly. Same with the incorrect. Play yes or no. They enter in yes. Recalls the loop again. Clears out answer 2. Goes to the function. If they answer no, and here it catches both the lowercase and uppercase n. Because it says here if the answer 2 is not equal to lowercase n, uppercase n, answer 2 is not equal to lowercase n, uppercase y, incorrect input. If it is uppercase n or lowercase n, goodbye. If it's uppercase y, lowercase y, clears out the answer 2 and calls the HT game again. So pretty simple, but you can add into it for the assignment. You need to add into it some other functionality. Again, it could be a game tally of scores. Maybe you could want to put in, people put their name in, they play the game, it saves the actual scores to a log file. And every player of your game can see people's scores and maybe put in their, not only their name, but maybe put their score, how many wins and losses, and a date or something like that. Just an example. You could do that. Since we just want to file in out, that would be one example. You could also do the randomization of messages. And after looking at all the games you're going to be looking at this week and your own program for the final, maybe you'll implement some of that within your final app as well. Because gaming development in general, in essence, even though a program might not be a game, the concept of gaming development can help every single type of application. Do you think about it? Because when you're creating a game, you're creating it for anybody to play with very little instruction, or it should be very little instruction. So how many of you, when you get an app or you get a new game and it has a humongous coach marks on what you're supposed to do, like 20 coach marks or 100 coach marks, you kind of like, bored reading that first 10 of them. You're like, forget it, skipping the coach marks. And if you can't skip the coach marks, skipping the game, right? Let me try it out first and fail, and then I'll read the instructions. Okay? That's what I want to do. And so anyway, play with the game, modify it. Questions on that? And if you want to add more to the logic on the game itself, definitely do that. Go hog wild with it. That's due by Sunday. Also, if you do find other games that you think might be useful, that you thought was pretty cool, whether ones you created yourself or ones you found on Replid or other sites, let me know and I'll post it for students. And again, lastly here on the modules, I just added in under the modules for examples. Whole bunch of different examples here that's been there a while, but maybe it's been a while since you'd seen that. Let me avail yourself to those, and then underneath the final app resources, again, links to help you with your code, and also with any types of deadlines, suggested deadlines for testing and deploying. If you want me to test your app, I'd be more than willing to be a tester and give you feedback. Questiones. There's a few books up here, by the way. Next week, let me just give you a little roundup for next final weeks here coming up. This week, as I said in the announcement, is our last actual assignment, which is coding the final dice game and making it your own. Next week, begin working full-time on your final app. In fact, the next 2 weeks, and then we present on week 15. I will be here each and every session, as always, on weeks 13 and 14. So if you need help, you want me to look at something, play with something, give you code examples, that's why I'm here. So send me an email if you need help in any function whatsoever. Questions. Okay. Let me quickly go to the online guys here real quick. See if they have any questions before I exit out of that. And again, there's a few books left up here. I'll read them off here in a second before we go. Online students, you have any questions, you can post them in the chat here while I'm looking at the text that are left up here. All right, so we have Doug White left for C++. And even though it's in C, both of these books are actually pretty good. You'll learn some stuff. I learned some stuff in both of these. So, all right, questions? All right, come up and get it. Otherwise, see you next week or not. We will be doing it online as always. And if you need help, come in. You can chat in from home if you want to. I'll be opening up next week and a week after, just like I've done here, with the online streaming. So if you have a question, I'll keep it open next week as I'm throughout the entire time we're here, from like 7:30 to 9. And then if you have any questions, you can post them here. If you have any code questions, here's what I want you to do. Email me your question and what example you might need, and I will reply back with the help that you need. And I do that for all my programming classes, where most all of them I do a final project like this. And I like doing it, and so don't feel bad asking for help. That's why I'm here. Okay? Questions? Okay, well, we are done. If you have any questions, come see me. Otherwise, see you next week or not. And also, come up and get your textbook if you didn't get one yet, a reference book.